Are we back?
We are back, Chris.
We are. This is for a short one. Yeah, we're trying a little short one here.
Wow. And now this is funny because, like, normally, of course, we meet in our incredibly well-appointed and very cushy podcasting fortress.
That's right.
Yeah, but this is just a little minor episode. So we're meeting inside of a tiny tent in the woods.
That's right, where we're safe. This week, in the 22nd of September, the CEO, I don't know if it's CEO, president, whatever, the leader of ReformUK Limited, Nigel Farage, has announced a plan to remove effectively the green card system from the United Kingdom. Now, there's a thing called indefinite leave to remain. Indefinite leave to remain is the idea that you've been in the country for a certain amount of time, usually 5 years, less for other people, and then you are able to you're able to apply to stay in the country without being pushed out for the rest of your life. It's called indefinite leave to remain.
Okay, so you would have like leave to remain in the country, but indefinite.
Yeah, everyone if you have a visa in the country, yes, you have leave to remain for a definite amount of time. So when I came into the country, I had a work visa, and then I had several more work visas up until 2014 when I had been here long enough, and then I was able to get indefinite leave to remain. It costs a lot of money. When I was doing it, it cost about £1,400 to go through the whole system. And that was 2014. Now it costs £3,029 per person.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah. That's how much
we
money.
Have a budget deficit with this kind of money coming in, I ask you.
Well, and given that it's very difficult to get this particular a visa. It costs a lot of money. You have to go through a life in the UK test. You have to go through an English language test if you're not from an English language country. But it is kind of you've been here long enough. It's time for you to be part of much closer to the system. And it's the next step in getting your passport.
Right. Okay. So once you're in the country legally on a visa for 5 years, you apply for ILR. Once you have indefinite leave to remain, then you can progress towards citizenship. Do I have that right?
If you want. Yeah, that's correct. If you want. And there's a number of reasons why you wouldn't want to be a citizen of the UK. And you are on a more precarious footing. If you're not a citizen, you can't leave the country for, I think, over 1 or 2 years. If you do that, then you lose it because you've left the country. And they said, obviously, we're going to have to give it to somebody else. Reform has said that they're going to get rid of the concept altogether and basically make everybody reapply for a number of other visas. This is because, they're basing this on the concept that people on ILR are taking benefits. And if you kick them all off of ILR, then you're going to make all this money back from not having to give benefits to people on indefinite leave to remain. So the theory now is that we're going to kick all these people off of indefinite leave to remain, make them reapply, make them pay into the tax system as I did for many years. Without access to public funds. Only you'll never have access to public funds until you're able to apply for a passport. And who knows how that's going to work.
I mean, like, seriously, if you remove indefinite leave to remain, how does that work progressing towards citizenship? Like, that is, presumably what Reform wants is just no one ever becomes a UK citizen unless they were born a UK citizen. That kind of sounds like what that's going to do. Now, just to be clear, because that is a wild thing to say that you want to do in the first place. Are they talking about going forward, everyone who wants to apply for ILR will no longer be able to, and therefore will just have to keep re-upping their work visas until they die, or more likely feel like the country has become a hellhole and they're being forced out? Is that, do I have that right?
It's basically that. It's
what about the people who currently have ILR?
Welcome to, it's people who are currently on it. It's everyone. If you get rid of ILR, and this is the problem. Hey, let's say I came here 45 years ago, and I have ILR because of marriage, and I'm no longer married or whatever, and I just didn't feel like getting a passport. Let's say I have a child who was born overseas. They're 2, and they still haven't decided to get a passport, so they're still on indefinite leave to remain. What are they supposed to do?
That's a really good question. I suppose the idea would be that they self-deport. And therefore Britain is made great again in some way that I can't possibly begin to fathom. Holy hell, that's That's outrageous. How many people would that involve, Chris?
Oh,
People with indefinitely to remain.
I think millions. Um,
My, yeah,
I
okay.
think I need to check. I need to check here, but it looks like it could be there are 3.8 million people who entered the UK after Brexit. Under
Mhm.
they're trying to blame this all on Boris Johnson for some reason, but I think it's hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Of oh, sorry, I have it here. Oh,
Yep.
well, it's it's hundreds of thousands at the minimum. It's hundreds of thousands of
Right.
people at the minimum. It could be
Mhm.
millions of people who are here on indefinite leave to remain.
Right.
Like I said, like I was on it, you weren't because you're a dual citizen. You came in under dual citizenship,
That's
but
true, actually. I'm both an American citizen and an Irish citizen through descent. And thanks to the Immigration Act of 1973, I believe Section 3Z, if I have this
wow,
correctly.
Zed, listen to that.
Oh, well, I've been here 15 years, man. I pick up a few things. I
Oh,
haven't picked up the accent, but I'm Zed, ride or die. Like,
oh,
I got to
disgusting,
tell you, I'm on board.
shocking.
Anyway, but yeah, so if you're an Irish citizen, then you are not foreign under British law. You can live in Britain with all the rights of a citizen. And similarly, if you are a British citizen, you can live in the Republic of Ireland with all the rights of a citizen. And this is what's called the common travel area. It's been the case for decades and decades. In fact, a very good friend of mine who is a British citizen has been living and working in Ireland for the last 5 years. And so she's in a position where if she wanted to, she could actually apply for Irish citizenship.
Which
Yeah.
again, like I'm not saying that there needs to be unpoliced borders, but I mean, the world is better when people can move around. As Britain found out in the 17 and 16 and 1800s, that,
Well,
when you're allowed
yeah.
just to enter and go do what you want to do, things get better when you at home, not where you land. But that's a them thing.
But that's an empire thing.
That's an empire thing. But
Yeah.
they want to introduce this thing called an acute skills shortage visa for jobs in crisis, which just means that they're just going to make it. They're going to bring in low people who are paid low wages because there's no way that you can't say that farming isn't going to be one of these acute skill shortages.
I mean, it's already facing acute skill shortages.
There's food withering on the vine since Brexit, and they're going to bring in these. So they just make it harder for people to live their lives whilst also helping the economy and getting nothing for it. I think it's just like Trump, where you're trying to introduce a punitive measure, which sounds great on a headline. We're going to get rid of indefinite leave to remain. So we're going to kick out hundreds of thousands of people, or we're going to make them reapply and establish themselves. But the problem with this is that when in past history, the road to authoritarianism starts with the reclassification of immigrants and minority groups. I don't see any reason why you would stop at ILR. I don't see why you wouldn't just move on to denaturalization.
That's really just proof of concept, Chris.
It is.
Yeah. Because once you make it clear that you could take, say, 800,000 people and expel them from the country, right?
Random number, by the way.
Yeah. And you're just sort of like, rounding people up and saying you have no rights anymore. Whatever it is that you thought you lived under, that world is now gone. Once you do that and enough people think it's fine and they accept it and it becomes just a thing that the government can do, well, now the only question is, who does the government get to do it to?
Yeah.
And
who's next?
That's the thing. And as you've pointed out repeatedly on the show, Chris, Parliament is sovereign. It can pass any law it likes. The ability of the judiciary is somewhat limited to deal with that. The ability of the House of Lords is very limited in dealing with it. So if you did have Reform become the government and they pass this kind of law, well, what would stop them from passing a law to say, and also the Home Secretary can, at his own volition and under his own discretion, remove the citizenship of any person that he deems to be burdensome to British society.
Yeah.
You give him that, and then all of a sudden, no one is safe.
Exactly. And there's probably a couple of other laws you'd have to amend or repeal to sort that out. But I mean, this is why it's so dangerous. And they're riding high in the polls. Their current numbers show them that potentially forming a government, if not forming the next government. And when they're coming out with policies like this, which, by the way, make no sense and would be a huge detriment to the economy because people will just leave. as they did with Brexit. People just leave, and that's tax money leaving as well. That's economic drivers, because billionaires don't spend money. Everybody else does. So you might get 3 billionaires out of this, but you're going to lose hundreds of thousands of other people.
So you're going to lose tax income. You're going to lose consumer spending. You're going to lose
skills.
People who do necessary work inside of society. Yeah. It's a guaranteed way to make Britain poor. I was going to say poorer, but no, this would just make Britain poor. It's
Javier Milei levels of economic thinking.
And how well is that working out for old Javi?
Yeah, well, he's looking for a bailout from Trump.
So, he's getting it too. Make America great again by way of giving money to Argentina.
Giving money to Argentina to keep up a neoliberal nonsense economic model that was built on, I think, consistently rejigging the exchange rate for the Argentinian peso. But that is neither here nor there. Just wanted to jump in for a quick one to talk about this nonsense from Reform. So thanks for listening. And as always, I'm Dr. Silverstein.
I'm Dr. Armshaw.
And this has been a short Doctors.
But not too short. Not Doctors.
Lovely.